Alright, let's talk shop. You've probably seen pictures of fighter jets zipping through the skies, or maybe even caught a glimpse of one in action, and noticed that they don't all look the same. Some are gray, some have crazy patterns, and others seem to blend into their surroundings like chameleons on steroids. Ever wondered why? Well, buckle up, because we're diving into the fascinating world of fighter jet camouflage and what those colors mean for Russian, American, and Chinese air forces. First things first, why bother painting these multi-million-dollar machines at all? Isn't it just about looking cool? Not quite. Camouflage plays a critical role in helping fighters survive in combat scenarios. While modern jets rely heavily on stealth technology to avoid detection, visual camouflage still matters, especially during dogfights or low-altitude missions where radar might not be the primary threat. The goal is simple: make the jet harder to spot against its environment. Whether it's blending into cloudy skies, desert landscapes, or open ocean, every color scheme has a purpose. And guess what? Each country tailors its paint jobs based on geography, mission types, and strategic priorities. Let's break it down by nation. If you've ever seen an F-15, F-16, F-22, or F-35, chances are it was painted in shades of gray. This isn't just a stylistic choice, it's highly functional. American fighters typically use a two-tone gray scheme, light gray on top, darker gray underneath. This helps them blend into the sky when viewed from above or below. Think about it. If you're flying over water or clouds, lighter grays mimic natural light reflections, while darker tones reduce contrast against darker backgrounds. The US prioritizes versatility. Their jets need to operate across diverse environments, from deserts in the Middle East to dense forests in Europe. Neutral grays work well almost everywhere, making them a safe bet for global operations. Occasionally, you'll see US aircraft painted in more exotic schemes, like the tiger stripes used for training exercises or special commemorative liveries. But in combat zones, it's mostly gray-on-gray goodness. Now let's switch gears to Russia, where things get a little wilder. Russian jets often sport bold, intricate patterns that look like something out of a military art gallery. Russian fighters like the Su-27 Flanker and MiG-29 Fulcrum frequently feature disruptive camouflage. Think jagged lines, blotches, and sharp contrast between greens, browns, and blues. These designs are meant to confuse enemy pilots during close-range dogfights by breaking up the jet's outline. Russia's focus tends to lean toward close-quarters aerial combat and ground support missions. Their camouflage reflects this, as many of their jets operate at lower altitudes, where visual detection is more likely. The earthy tones also help them blend into forested or mountainous terrains, common in Eastern Europe and Asia. Some Russian jets even experiment with reflective metallic coatings to confuse infrared-guided missiles. Talk about taking it to the next level. Last but certainly not least, let's talk about China. As a rising power in aerospace, China has been putting serious effort into designing jets that look sleek, modern, and downright intimidating. Chinese fighters like the J-20 Mighty Dragon and J-10 Vigorous Dragon usually stick to monochromatic gray or silver schemes. These minimalist looks aren't just for show, they're designed to minimize visibility in the sky while complementing their stealth capabilities. China's approach leans heavily on long-range strike missions and regional dominance. Their jets are optimized for high-altitude, high-speed operations over vast expanses like the Pacific Ocean. Smooth, uniform paint jobs reduce glare and maintain a low profile against both visual and radar detection. You might notice some Chinese jets sporting red stars or other national insignias prominently displayed. These aren't just patriotic flair. They serve as quick identification markers for friendly forces during chaotic battles. To sum it up, American jets, neutral grays for maximum adaptability, perfect for global deployments. Russian jets, bold, disruptive patterns for close-range dogfighting and low-altitude missions. Chinese jets, sleek, streamlined designs focused on stealth and long-range precision. Each style reflects the unique strategies and operational needs of its respective military. It's like comparing three chefs cooking the same dish, but each adds their own secret ingredient to stand out. Here's the thing. No matter how cool a paint job looks, it's only effective if it serves its purpose. Modern warfare increasingly relies on sensors, radars, and satellites rather than human eyesight. That said, there's still value in visual camouflage, for psychological impact, if nothing else. Seeing a camouflage jet swoop down unexpectedly can rattle even the most seasoned pilot. So, which camouflage style do you prefer? The understated elegance of American grays, the artistic chaos of Russian patterns, or the futuristic vibe of Chinese silvers? Personally, I think they're all impressive in their own way. After all, these jets aren't just tools of war, they're symbols of ingenuity, strategy, and national pride. Next time you see a fighter jet soaring overhead, take a closer look at its paint job. You might just uncover clues about its mission, its home, and the story behind its design.